Hey everyone, it is that time again that I am all excited, and I always say that you get sick of it, but it's okay because I am. I've got somebody super fascinating right next to me. She's got a fabulous story, and she's a celebrity makeup artist and celebrity hairstylist. As a matter of fact, for one of our brand ambassadors. She's going to tell you all about that, how she got there, and all the amazing things that she's going to share with us. I'd like to introduce to you Emily Spence. Emily, could you say hi to our audience for us?
Hi, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here, Cheryl.
Well, thank you so much. I want to know, and I know that our audience wants to know everything about you. What is a celebrity makeup artist? How did you get there? How did it all happen? Anything that you want to share with us?
Sure. Oddly enough, I was pursuing a career in the performing arts. I was a dancer for all of my life. And then I just kind of had a change of heart, wasn't sure if that's where I wanted to go with things. And family and friends were all like, well, you do everyone's hair and makeup for all of the shows and you love doing it. Why don't you pursue a career in that? And I was like, oh, I didn't think about this is fun to me. I didn't realize hey, you could make a career out of this as well. So I really lucked out and was able to find something I'm super passionate about. And now I get to do that for a living. So I'm a very lucky person.
Well,
But,
you are, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think I'm so fortunate to be surrounded in a career where I get to make people feel good about themselves, and which I know goes hand in hand with your company. And so it's just a pleasure to be able to do that.
Well, thank you. And it does. It definitely, works very well conjointly. We're on the same wavelength because that's what we're all about. We love, love, love to help people just realize, their dream about healthy skin, healthy body. And, not everybody that is a makeup artist, because I'm an esthetician as well. So not everybody that is a makeup artist, and you're a cosmetologist, gets to be a celebrity makeup artist. That takes a while, or it takes knowing someone, or who knows. How did that happen for you?
Yeah, like you said, honestly, it is all about knowing someone. I moved here from Baltimore 3 years ago to pursue working in more of the film and photo industry, as opposed to just doing, clients at a salon or, personal home calls. I had a real strong interest in that. So I thought, let's move to California and see what happens. You don't achieve your dreams just, sitting at home wishing and thinking about them. So I came out here, and it really, honestly, it's all networking, all word of mouth, because in this industry, no one wants to take the chance of just calling someone and hiring them, and then they show up and, you don't quite love what you look like, or, timing, isn't right, or professional products aren't used, et cetera, et cetera. People put a lot of trust in me, to make them feel good, make them look good, especially if it's actors or actresses, you're on camera, that's everything to you, how you look. So I was just fortunate enough to meet the right person at the right time. I'm very outgoing, so I just talk to people all the time. And one of the clients I had that I was, doing like styling and haircuts for happened to know someone, and I got involved in a film. And then just from there, it kind of exploded after a while. I just started getting recommended on more films, and then they have their own slew of networking and stuff like that. So I just showed up and brought myself and my positive attitude and hoped for the best, and my skills held up. And so basically, I'd love to say it's solely based on how great you are, or, how much effort you put into it, but it really is a networking thing and just meeting the right people. And so I was just very, very fortunate in that sense.
You are. And I have to tell you that, ironically, I have a friend, super close friend, who is a celebrity makeup artist back in Southern California. And she's done like all the, the actresses like Debbie Reynolds and Ruta Lee. And, so she's got that whole big repertoire of people that she's done over the years, a lot for Broadway and so forth, and film and TV. And then I have somebody that we just met that was just recently on our show, who does that as well. And she's kind of specializes in journalists, so on-air newscasters, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just so interesting how multifaceted this business is. And as you said, you had the opportunity, somebody gave you the opening, but you had to do the work. You had to be the one that created all of the hoopla and excitement about you with not only your skills, which is number one, but your passion and your kindness. And that's one of the things I love about you is you're so kind and just such a generous person. And I bet everybody that you're working on just has the most fabulous experience with you.
I like to make it fun. I mean, especially if I'm working on a client before a big photo shoot or, we're about to roll cameras. It's very tense, they're nervous. They're going through what they're going to do. I'm the first person that sees you when you get to set before everything else. So I get all those morning jitters and I get all of that. And so I feel like I, in a way, set the tone for the day. So I try to remain just really positive, upbeat, fun. I have a lot of energy. So that helps, when you're feeling a little groggy and a little tired and you come in with your coffee and you're like, I got to do hair and makeup now. I'm like, hi, welcome. Sometimes I might be too much energy, but I think that, I just want to make an impact on their day and I want them to feel like they've started off on the right foot.
Yeah, that would help me as a performer myself. I'm a vocalist, but if I were in a film or doing a TV show and, I had a makeup artist and I was like a nervous wreck going, oh my gosh, I would want somebody like you to be there to, just kind of talk me through in a way, just by being sweet and kind and funny and whatever else you are, which we can definitely all see. That would be so helpful. And as you said, it would set the entire tone for them. They would go into doing what they're doing very relaxed and confident. And you also do, like you just said, hair. It's not just makeup. You do the whole thing. I mean, what an incredible bonus and blessing you are to your industry.
I'm so grateful for all those wonderful compliments. Thank you so much. So I originally got involved while I could do hair and makeup, I pursued my education in hair. So with a cosmetology license, you touch on makeup and you touch on nails and you do hair as well. Whereas an esthetician focuses more on the skincare of makeup and what's coming through the inside and stuff. So I started with hair. Absolutely adore hair. It's probably my first love. But then I realized when I moved out here and I was just trying to get booked, oftentimes it's easier to get booked as a makeup artist. So I was like, well, I have the basic skills. I'm just going to need to improve this. So I went to a school to get certified specifically for makeup and learn all the protocols and the safety of all of that stuff, which is oftentimes something people don't think about with makeup. But if you're doing it on several different people, you need to make sure everything's sanitized and clean and everything. So I added that skill to my skill set, and then that way I felt like I became more bookable. It was a way for me to get my foot in more doors. So that's basically how I started doing that.
Well, let me ask you this too, because there's beauty makeup, we know that, and hair, obviously, but there's also in your industry prosthetic makeup where you have to make somebody into a character. Now, were you trained for that? Is that something that you do?
So yes, that's actually one of my favorite things to do. The way I pursue hair and makeup is the more creative, artistic, the weirder, the better for me. That's what I love. So I did back in Baltimore work on a local film, and they had, it was kind of gory horror movie. And I just fell in love with the special effects team and that kind of makeup. And I would just loved creating this different look. And I thought that was just so fun. So then I advanced my skills in that set as well, so that I could offer those services as well as makeup. When you first start, you're working on a lot of independent and low budget films. So the idea of being able to book one person that can do hair, makeup, and special effects made me a lot more bookable as well. So like I said, just desperately trying to get my foot in the door there, I started offering all of those, and it's just so fun. There's just no end to how fun it is, whether it's film or photo shoots, just getting to do Glam is wonderful. I just, making someone look so glamorous is always a good time. But for me, like I said, I really focus on more of the creative aspect of it. So when I get to go wild and create like an alien or, do these like, a car accident victim or something. I know this sounds horrible, but I just really love what goes into creating those wounds and those looks and like making the magic come to life.
Exactly. Or making somebody younger, older, or older, younger, and which definitely leads into clientele in a second too. But I do want to say also, interestingly enough, when I met my husband, I had the opportunity to meet my future brother-in-law, who is unfortunately no longer living. I had him around for a year, but he was the makeup artist to the studios that created the Planet of the Apes look. So his name is Dan Strepek, and he did all the Planet of the Apes makeup, and so created what we know as, that look, and also all the Tom Hanks movies. He was on every single Tom Hanks movie, and Sound of Music, How the West Was Won, all the classics. And so I had the opportunity of meeting him and hearing the stories. The great part for you, Emily, is you're going to be able to have those legendary stories as well, which you do already. You're already building that for yourself. You're building that legacy, and it's really exciting. You're just going to have a great big book of everything that you've ever done, to share with people. And it's very, very amazing what you do to create characters, to create beauty, like you said, to glam people up or unglam them up, and just make people feel really confident about the role they're going to play. That all starts with you. So you have a lot of responsibility.
I do. I think a big part of it is I'm able to tap into a good portion of my life. I had a lot of body image issues. I had horrible acne, which started at a very young age. So I was teased and all that, stuff and everything. So I had a very poor image of myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself to look a certain way. And of course, I built up this image that was completely unobtainable. So I was just never happy with myself. So I felt like once I got into this industry, I could really feel for people and take that to heart about how they felt about themselves. And there is no greater feeling than turning that person around to the mirror and just seeing the look on their face when they like feel beautiful and they feel confident. And I remember when I would have those few couple of moments where I would feel that way back, when I was being really hard on myself. And I just wanted to like harness those moments and give those to other people, because I feel like it's so important and it's such an amazing feeling.
It is. And it's so funny that you're saying that too, because in the olden days of clientele, when I began, when I was 24, so that's 41 years ago, I used to have all the Neiman Marcus's and the Nordstrom's and I. Magnons and all of those stores, for those of you who remember I. Magnin. But bottom line it is, I would walk over to somebody and say, in 30 seconds, I'm going to be able to do this for you. Or in 3 minutes, I'm going to be able to make you lopsided. You're going to be lifted on one side of the face, and have all these people sitting in the chair to do that. And as you said, the greatest thing was having them look in the mirror first and having them look in the mirror after and going, oh my gosh. And to me, as corny as it sounds, and I bet you're exactly the same way, because people made fun of me too. My nose was too big and it wasn't perfect and, whatever else. And so guess what, everybody? It is, but that's the way it is. Fits my face. It's just okay.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I do hair and makeup and I'm focusing on all of the outside. It would seem that that's what's most important and everything. But the thing I love about clientele is the older I get, the more I realize how important it is coming from the inside. And the science that I've been able to learn, through going and getting this education with hair and everything else, is just how important all the nutrients are, how your base for makeup means everything. If I don't want makeup to be a cover up. I want it to be an enhancement. And all of that starts with just proper skincare and proper nutrients. It really does come from the inside.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you said that, because that's exactly the way we feel. In 1982, the founder of our company, Clientele and MDR is our sister supplement company, as you know, decided this is definitely the way that we need to take care of the skin optimally, to work on the inside out, because everything is reflecting from the inside. As you know, you said you had acne. That wasn't just because it was topical. They didn't just pop up there because of external issues. They popped up there because of internal issues, your hormonal change, your, menstrual cycle, your medications, your diet, your, lack of exercise or lack of water or eating fatty foods, whatever it was, your stress level at school, who knows what it was, the fact that you were made fun of, all of those things, that's all internal. Then our hormones change mid-20s. Then we have the sun, we've got the pollution, we've got now at this timing, we've got all of our electronics, our laptops, our ring lights, our cell phones, our TVs, all of that's blue light damage. So all of that affects the skin. And I'm so glad that you correlated doing things from the inside, to be healthy on the outside. So thank you for that. Is that something you stress to your clients as well in preparation for future shoots?
Absolutely, especially the younger people that I work with. I mean, if I could turn back the time and at 20 be like, put all the SPF you possibly can on your face, you know what I mean? So yes, especially my young clients, I love to just fill their mind with how important all this preventative stuff is, and how if you start now, you'll be so thankful in 10, 20, 30 years when you can come back and be like, oh, I'm really not aging that much. This is amazing. And it's because of the preventative, everything, like you said, just not the outside, but the inside as well. When we're young and healthy and we look great, we don't think about any of these things.
That's right.
I put that in their brain. I plant that seed, and I'm like, this is the time, especially if you're in this kind of field, in this career, you want it to outlast. And, we have amazing things, Botox, facelifts, all of the rest of it that exist and stuff. But the more you can avoid needing to do that, the better. And I do believe with proper nutrients and skincare and hair care, you can achieve that.
Well, first of all, incredible information. I want everybody to like and share this, because Emily is a wealth of information. She's, again, doing everything in the film, TV, stage industry for makeup and hair. But she's also encouraging her clients to really prevent problems before they happen. So you don't look at the mirror at 45 years old and go, oh my gosh, I look like I'm 68 years old. So the SPF, the cleansing and exfoliating, which you are doing now with clientele, all of these things are so imperative to the healthy aging of your skin. We are going to age. It's just the way it is. But we want to do it in a healthy way. We want to be able to look at our skin at 65 and say, oh my gosh, wow, because I started at 24, this is what I was able to do. Now, even if you're starting now and you are in your 60s or 70s and you go, you know what, I really need to do this, I never did before. Is it too late? Do you think it's too late, Emily?
It's never too late for anything. But it's so true. Recently I was asked about, aging and hair, oh, my hair is thinning. It's not as great as it once was, all of that kind of stuff. And even if you haven't done stuff earlier in time, there's still time. Really what our hair comes down to is keratin. There's three parts to a hair strand. It's got its outer covering, a middle layer, and the center. You have the cuticle, the cortex, and the medulla. The medulla is the inner part, and that's the most important. That's where all of your hair, what it looks like, how it holds up through the bleachings and the colorings, all comes down to that. And that is specifically made of keratin. So one of the big factors for creating keratin is biotin, a form of vitamin B, which all of your beauty supplements have biotin in them, which is amazing because that's what I tell everybody, biotin, biotin, biotin. So basically what that's doing is it's making the hair stronger from the inside. When that keratin protein is forming, you're getting more of it, you're getting stronger, you're getting healthier hair. So then all the external damage, which comes from environment, sun, what we're doing to it, the hot tools, the blow dryers, all of that, You can use hair products to, tame that, just like you can use makeup to kind of hide what's going on, but it's all coming from the inside. So the stronger your hair is to start with, the better it's going to hold up, the better it's going to look, and the better it's going to be able to resist all these external factors that are happening.
Well, that's, again, I mean, more information comes out, more of a wealth of knowledge comes out with every question that I ask you, or everything that you say. This is such important information for everyone. So again, supplementation that has biotin, that creates growth, that creates another thing that people don't realize as they age about hair is that it can get gray earlier, it can get brittle, it can get very dry. It looks older. It looked lustrous and gorgeous in your youth, but later on, it'll lose all of that if you do not attack it from the inside, which is what Emily is saying. So I think those are incredible, incredible keys. Now, another thing, Emily, before we get into your journey with clientele and MDR and the specifics that you love and the changes that you're seeing, the person that introduced us is Dr. Elise Briscoe, who is an integrative medicine optometrist in Hollywood. She has a company called Hollywood Eyes, but she started using clientele about maybe 6 months back and MDR. And she has now become Ms. Woman California 2021. You are her personal stylist. So you have been styling her through these pageants. She's on her way to the Miss United States pageant, as you know, right now. But I'm not saying that because she used clientele and MDR, she won Ms. Woman California. I'd like to make that claim. Wouldn't that be awesome? But it definitely helped her feel confident and kept her skin looking young at her age, being the oldest in the category of 35 and over. She's 59 and won that title. What do you want to say about everything that Elise has told you about clientele and MDR?
What an inspiring woman, by the way. I mean, just amazing. The things that she's accomplishing and putting herself out there for, it's just amazing. I absolutely adore her. And the way that the conversation came up about clientele and MDR was I went over to do her hair and I was like, God, your skin looks amazing. I was like, what? I mean, you're always beautiful, but I was like, I'm really noticing today, like your skin looks amazing. And she was like, oh, it's this new thing that I've gotten involved with and these new products I'm trying. And I was like, well, I need to know about this. So she was kind enough to, connect us so that I could start learning about it. But that's honestly how the conversation came up. I just noticed how amazing she was looking.
Well, thank you for saying that, because she fell in love with it so much that she became a brand ambassador. Now, we didn't go after anybody to become brand ambassadors. We didn't even have the program really going much at the time. But we have another one as well who introduced me to Elise, Gail Gensler. But she became a brand ambassador, and it's plastered all over her Instagram and website and so forth and so on, and a book on anti-aging that I got to write a couple pages on, which I was really grateful for. Now about you, because as you said, she introduced you to the line because you just love the way her skin looks. What did you notice? And this to me is also very special because of what you do and what you know as a cosmetologist. What was very special about clientele and your particular favorites and what you're seeing with your skin, hair, nails, feeling in your body? What would you say?
Well, first I have to tell you that I specifically didn't put any kind of cover up or tinted moisturizer on today. The only thing I put on was a powder to kind of keep me from being too shiny on camera. I specifically wanted to avoid doing that so you could see, the results. I am very fair skinned and I had horrible, purple circles under my eyes with a little bit of puffiness as well. And your eye cream, I mean, nearly I think it was 2 nights I used it. And I just started noticing my under eye looked amazing. I'm pretty minimalistic, believe it or not. I don't like to wear a lot of makeup, and I if we're going out, I get dressed up, but that's about it. On my day to day, I'm like a tinted moisturizer, sunscreen kind of gal. So in effort for my skin to look better naturally, the under eyes has always been something I've struggled with. And Huge, huge difference. I mean, especially the coloring. I've just been thrilled with how much more it's evened out underneath of there, and the less dark circles are amazing. I'm
Well,
also a huge, oh,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was also just going to rave about the face washes with the sponge. It's so silly. It seems like, oh, it's a sponge, no big deal. But it's not just a sponge. It's amazing. A lot of times we tend to over exfoliate. I was doing like a pretty harsh exfoliation like once, a week or every 2 weeks, but I've noticed more just doing a daily one with that sponge. It's so much nicer for the skin. I can tell immediately when I put my tinted moisturizer on in the morning, it just goes on so smooth. Sometimes like around the nose, it would get a little blotchy and a little odd. Like just using that exfoliation on a daily basis is so helpful. And it's so important for clients when I'm doing their makeup, if they show up and we have to do like an immediate little exfoliating situation or like a face mask or something like that. Like these are just wonderful.
Well, first of all, thank you. And the first thing I was going to kind of pipe in about, so I'm sorry I interrupted you, is the BioQ Energy Eye Cream. That's what you're using, because when you told me when we had a personal consultation, which by the way, everybody, is really important, you want a specialist to pinpoint and target and customize for you. You don't want to just pick things randomly, go, oh, that sounds good, because it may not be good for you and what your concerns are. So we really targeted Emily and found out her specifics. So she told me, I get dark under the eyes. I sometimes might get puffy around the eyes. Now, I saw you in the very beginning and I'm seeing you now, and I've got to tell you, there is a definite difference around your eyes. And I saw that when we spoke the other day as well. Definite difference. And that's because there are 4 particular peptides in that product, and each one addresses, one is darkness, one is puffiness, one is lines and wrinkles, and one is loss of elasticity. So if any of those fit you out there, you've got any of those that you have a check mark by, that is the perfect product to use. And to me, it's like the top of the top. As far as exfoliation goes, as somebody that does makeup as well as hair, and you've got to exfoliate the scalp too. So if you don't get rid of your aged epidermal cells, not only will your skin look older, because you've got enlarged pores there, perhaps you've got lines and wrinkles that really don't need to be there. You've got impurities, your makeup doesn't stay on. Emily and I were talking about this the other day when we see women have one color face and the other color neck. And it's either because you chose the wrong foundation color or a combination of the fact that you're not getting rid of your dead skin, and your makeup will look great in the morning, but will change during the day with all the conditions, with all the environmental conditions, your oil, debris, whatever's attracted to it. So the exfoliation, like you're saying, to do it twice a day versus something harsh once a week, you're seeing a big difference in your skin tone, your brightness, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A huge difference. One thing that I wanted to touch on was you were talking about doing the consultation and coming up with a personalized plan. So like I said, as a cosmetologist, I don't know as much about the science of the skin and like all of that. And so I was one of those people that was just like, oh, this sounds like me. Let me buy this and try it. So having someone who has that knowledge be able to sit down with me and really get to the bottom, as I think I was over exfoliating and I was being kind of harsh on my skin. So learning more about why that happens, how it all works together, and you kind of giving me the knowledge as to this is what you need to do to take care of your skin was just, it was perfect. I was so excited. I love that you guys take the time to do that. And it's not just me trying to figure out on my own what products work and which products don't work.
Well, thank you, because it's scary. If you go to any website and you go, oh gosh, that sounds so good. I heard about this line, my friend told me about it. And then you look at the website and the packaging looks awesome. That sounds like it would be me. And then you get it home and try it and your face basically explodes in, breakouts or irritation or something of that nature because nobody talked to you. And we've got to talk to you, everybody, so that we can figure this out. And there were couple little things with Emily we needed to tweak. It wasn't all 100% perfect first time, but that's why you need to talk to us. Sometimes it is absolutely perfect with no changes. Sometimes there might be something we need to change, but that's why we have to talk to you and find out specifics and what it is. And I know that you also like Soothie.
Yes, absolutely. So I've even got my husband hooked on it now. It's great. Yes, like you said, I tried something and, everyone's skin doesn't react the same and it just wasn't for me, which again is why I love having you as part of my life. Because I called and I was like, what's happening? What do I do? And you were like, I got this. We can fix it. We can tweak it. You were, so kind to spend the time to help me with that and, fix the issue. As soon as I started using the Soothie, where, like I said before, sometimes where my nose gets a little dry. So it's kind of combination skin sometimes. So the Soothie just kind of evens it all out, really smooths it out. I notice a little decrease in the redness that I, often get like right around here, as a lot of people do. So that's been amazing. And my husband also has very combination skin. He gets patches sometimes, a pimple here, a dry spot there. So I had him start using it. And I mean, I think he's only been using it for like a week and a half. And already I noticed a huge difference.
Yes, and first of all, I'm so excited that you put your husband on it because my husband's on everything as well, specifically for his skin. But I just wanted to encourage everybody out there, men and women, if you're loving this, you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, a cousin, a brother, a dad, whatever, a mom, just let them know about Clientele because it's amazing. You're hearing it from Emily. I'm not feeding her the information. She's using it and she's telling you what's going on. Enough that she put her husband on some of the products as well. And the facial mask you were talking about, sometimes when your clients come in and they need their face to be really tweaked before a shooting, what do you think the mask does for them and for you?
Let's talk about your magical mask. It's unbelievable. So pores, a big problem that I would have. I had large pores and I had a lot of blackheads. And when I'm working on set, I have a very busy schedule, 12 hours a day with a few days off. I don't always have time to go get facials and do all of that kind of stuff. Your mask is amazing. I noticed an immediate difference. My skin just felt tighter. It visually looked tighter. And after using it maybe like 2 times, just a complete overhaul on the pores and the blackheads and everything like that. I love it for 2 reasons for my clients. 1, pre-photo shoot. This mask offers like an immediate tightening. It's great. So it's perfect for right before a photo shoot. It gives them that extra confidence as well because you visually see the results. It's not one of those things where use it for a month and it'll start to work. This is like an instantaneous thing. So it's great. It also leaves the skin so baby smooth that the makeup goes on flawlessly. The other people that I love it for, oftentimes, when you're working on a film, we're putting so much makeup on you. You're wearing it for 12 hours a day. If you're in a scenario where the lighting is making you sweat or we're shooting outside in the heat, I'm constantly just packing on more powder on your face all day long. Your skin hates that. It can't breathe. So oftentimes breakouts do start happening. So I started making the mask, making a little packet and sending them on their way and having them use it at first as like a little spot treatment if they had specific pimples. And then I tell them like when we're having our 2 days off, treat yourself, do the mask, and then they come back and the skin is so wonderful. So I love it for that purpose as well.
Well, you definitely heard it here, everybody. And we have to wrap things up. And I wish we could spend the next hour. I'm not kidding because you've got so much great info to offer. But I want to talk about your nutrients for just a brief moment. We already really covered taking care of yourself inside and out, but I just want to know what your favorites are. And before we do that, how do people get in touch with you when they need you? I know in the industry, everybody knows how to do it, but how do they get in touch with you, let's say for a photo shoot that they want to do? Maybe they're new in the industry and they need some help, or they're going to an amazing smashing event and they need some help. How do we find you?
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and all of my stuff, I leave it easy for you. It's all Spence Styles. So that's my name for Facebook. That's my name for Instagram. That's my website, which has all of my personal contact information. So I try to keep it simple and easy for you. So you just have to find eSpence Styles. And I just want to say, like, I don't restrict myself to only working with big names or big events. Like, I love to make a difference in anyone's life. And, I just love to meet people and hear their stories and be part of their, creative endeavors and stuff like that. So I encourage anyone to reach out to me. I'm happy to work with anyone. And especially now that I have all of this knowledge and I can pass that on to people as well. Like, I just want to get it out there,
Well, that's, first of all, a great offer, everybody, for you is don't be afraid. You don't have to be a celebrity. You just be you. And call Emily and she will do some amazing, amazing things for you and make you feel so confident and so happy that you made that call, or reach out to her on Instagram. You can DM her any way that you want to get in touch with her. She's given you all the tools to do that. And I just want to close it out with what you want to say again about internal care. We pretty much covered it, that what you see out here is what's going on in here. And then what's going on out here is tweaking it even more. So we have to combine the external and the internal to really get the best results. Nobody else does that except Clientele that I know of. We've done it since 1982. So, and we're also cruelty free. And I think that I told you that too, and you were really excited about that. We've been cruelty free since 79. So tell me in your internal care and Clientele what you really, really love. And then close us out with something that you feel would be really inspiring and encouraging as a nugget to take with us.
As far as the internal care, I think that you can go to the store and there's a million supplements on the shelf now. We've really advanced to taking more care of ourselves from the inside out. So the options are much more vast out there now. But I think what people don't realize is you really need to pay attention. Cruelty free is a huge deal, very important to me. So you check that box for me. But also a lot of these nutrients, the way that they're processed, the way that they're made, they put a lot of extra stuff in there. Some of the things that they put in there are actually preventing your body from absorbing the nutrients as much as it can. So what I love about Clientele is that you have focused on all of those things. There is not a lot of additives, a lot of these are actually like vegan safe, you're not adding all that extra stuff. So that's super important to think about when you're, going out and you're looking at all these nutrients. It's very overwhelming when you see a shelf full of stuff, and it's just really important to make sure you're getting them from the right source. And I feel like I can trust Clientele for that, which is really important. And I mean, like I said, it's just, there's no other way to say it other than you have to focus on the inside if you want everything on the outside to look great. That works just as much for your soul and your personality as it does when we're talking about beauty. It's really, age old advice that still just holds up.
Well, I could not have said anything better myself. You even added a few more things to it that I haven't incorporated. So I don't say, everybody, that I'm perfect in any way, shape, or form. I give you all the education as Clientele's national beauty expert that I know. But there's some things that Emily added there that was fantastic about highly sourced ingredients. We do talk about that, but about the fact that fillers, I don't say that, actually will negate what you're putting in your body, which is what Emily said. That's huge. So I thank you for that. And again, we know how to get in touch with Emily. I'll have it in the credits above this video after you see it. So in case you forgot, it'll be there. Like and share, like and follow. Call us at 800-327-4660 Clientele and have one of our specialists, inclusive of me, work with you and personalize and customize for you so that you can get the best internal and external care and you can have what Emily has. And I have to tell you, you are so beautiful, Emily, not just on the outside. And I dig that hair. Got to tell you that. Hair is awesome. But on the inside, just such an incredible, loving, generous, great human being. Thank you, God, and thank you, her parents. for creating this woman because she's extra special, extraordinary. So
Thank you so much. You're too kind, and it means the world to hear that. So thank you very much.
well, I only say if I mean it. And I just want to say to everybody, blessings. Please join us next Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And everybody else, you're savvy enough to know your times. So join us then for another fabulous guest. And also join us on Tuesday nights to watch me do a lot of bloopers and goof up when I do my lives. I mean, it's got to be real and raw, right? But come and see me 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights, Eastern Standard Time. And again, you know your times. And I'm going to say goodbye. Emily, can you say goodbye to our audience for us?
Absolutely. So stop wasting time, stop putting it off, make the calls today, reach out, and start your new beginnings.
Thank you and blessings, everyone. Thanks for coming.